good evening, or perhaps good morning depending on where you are right now. Tell me, where are you listening from tonight? And what time is it for you? Midnight? 2 a.m.? Or maybe you stumbled here at dawn when the sky is pale and the world is still half asleep. Before we go further, I'll ask you gently, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Share it with someone who loves history and who doesn't mind a little terror. And in the comments, tell me, what time of night did you find this story? I promise I read every single one. Now, tonight's journey is not an easy one. We are descending deep beneath the streets of Paris. Far below the bright cafes, the ringing laughter, and the busy lights of the city of love, lies another Paris. A Paris of silence. A Paris of bones. For tonight I will guide you into the catacombs. Miles and miles of tunnels. A labyrinth where 6 million souls rest. Some whisper. Some watch. And some are said to still walk. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Let us begin. Paris. A city of beauty, of art, of revolutions and romance. But beneath its cobblestone streets is something older, something more enduring than the palaces of kings or the paintings in the Louvre. Long before it was the city of light, Paris was a city of the dead. In the Middle Ages, the cemeteries overflowed. Bodies stacked upon bodies, graves dug too shallow, bones spilling into the streets when the rains came. Imagine that for a moment, walking through the winding alleys and catching the stench, not of bread from the boulangerie, but of decay. The worst offender was the cemetery of the innocents. For over 10 centuries bodies were laid to rest there. But eventually there was no rest. The ground bulged, the earth cracked, and even the living were poisoned. People who lived near the cemetery often grew sick from the foul air that seeped through their walls. And so the city faced a problem. Where do you put the dead, when the living have no more room? The answer was underfoot. Beneath Paris lay ancient limestone quarries, carved out since Roman times. Tunnels, vast and empty, stretching endlessly. Dark, cold, abandoned. And in the 18th century the city made its decision. It would empty its cemeteries and fill the tunnels below with bones. Picture it. Year 1786. A procession by torchlight. Priests in black robes chanting prayers. Wagons piled high with skulls and femurs. Bells tolling low and heavy. Night after night they marched, carrying the dead into the quarries. Not dozens. Not hundreds. Not thousands. But millions. For 2 years the transfer continued. Bodies disinterred, stacked, and reburied in silence beneath the city. And yet it was not done once and for all. For decades, each time a cemetery overflowed, the bones were brought down. Soon, the catacombs stretched with walls of skulls, neatly arranged like decorations. Femurs stacked like firewood. An architecture of death. And people began to whisper, the dead do not like to be disturbed. Act 3, Whispers of the Dead. You see, it wasn't long before strange things began to happen. Workers tasked with arranging the bones reported hearing footsteps in the dark. But when they turned, their lanterns showed only walls of grinning skulls. One worker claimed he felt a hand brush across his neck. Cold. Too cold to be human. He fled, dropping his lantern, leaving only darkness behind him. Another swore he heard voices, low, murmuring voices, coming from within the walls themselves. As though the skulls whispered to each other when the living passed by. The priests warned, do not mock the dead. Do not speak ill of them. For they are many. And you are only one. By the 19th century the catacombs became a curiosity. A forbidden attraction. Writers, poets, and nobles descended into the dark with torches, seeking inspiration, or perhaps a thrill. The great Victor Hugo is said to have wandered the tunnels, sketching notes for his stories. Others hosted secret concerts or feasts among the bones. Can you imagine the music of a violin echoing against skulls? The laughter of nobles dining where millions lie silent? And yet some never returned. For the catacombs are not just a grave, they are a labyrinth. Once the lantern goes out, there is no up, no down, no left or right. Only darkness. Some who entered became lost. Their skeletons were found years later, curled in corners, hands stretched out against the stone, as if they had clawed for a way out. Even today the catacombs breathe their secrets. Tourists walk through the official route, just over a mile of carefully arranged bones. But beyond the tourist path lie hundreds of miles of forbidden tunnels. The police patrol them, but explorers, called cataphiles, slip in anyway. They tell stories of entire chambers decorated with bones shaped into crosses, hearts, and even thrones. Others discover graffiti left by centuries of trespassers. But some explorers speak of stranger things. of cameras malfunctioning, batteries draining in minutes, of hearing singing in the dark when no one was there. In 2004, police stumbled upon a chamber deep underground. Inside, a fully equipped cinema, seats carved into the stone, a screen, a bar, even electricity. But when they returned days later, the place was abandoned. Only a note remained, "Do not try to find us." And still, the bones wait, silent, patient, watching. And now we rise again, back toward the surface, back toward the light of Paris above. But let me ask you, if you walked those tunnels, if you placed your hand upon the cold skull of a stranger long dead, what would you feel? Fear? Reverence? Or perhaps recognition? For one day all of us will lie silent. And maybe, centuries from now, our bones too will be stacked neatly in some forgotten chamber, waiting for footsteps, waiting for stories, waiting for someone to whisper our names. Take a deep breath. The catacombs close behind us now. The city above is waiting. And yet, part of you will always remain down there, among the bones. If you made it this far into the story, I want you to do something. Comment below and tell me, where are you listening from tonight? And at what time did this story find you? Midnight? 3 a.m.? Don't forget to subscribe for more journeys like this one. Like the video if you felt the chill of the catacombs. Share it with someone who dares to listen in the dark. And now, rest, if you can. For the dead are always listening.